Zoom on mute until it's time to be called upon, so we don't hear cell phones, dogs, ambulances, fire trucks, police trucks in the background. So good morning, like that. Good morning. So let's start with roll call and attendance, beginning to my left with Commissioner Caffarelli.
Good morning, Chairman. Brian Caffarelli, Commissioner.
Mary Commissioner.
Angelo DeFazio, Commissioner.
Richard Carberry, Commissioner.
Oh, I skipped Mary.
Debbie Chisholm, Commissioner. Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you, Deb. Mary, I didn't hear you.
Okay, Mary Guanti, Commissioner.
Heather?
Heather Hoynes, Board Administrator.
Thank you, everyone. So this should be a short and sweet meeting. So let's start with the pharmacy internship, which we haven't had one in a little while. And I apologize for the pronunciation. If I make a mistake, I really do apologize. Is Haneen Abuyash?
Abuyash, yes.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to swear you in. So could you please virtually raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Very good. So we like to call the interns in to get to meet you, to learn where you're from, what your knowledge base is in pharmacy, and to make sure that you have a preceptor and your responsibilities under that preceptor. So why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're from and your pharmacy history and where you plan to work here in the state of Connecticut.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Haneen. I was born and raised in Jordan in the Middle East. I'm sure many of you know about it. Some of you may not. I graduated back in 2009 with a bachelor's degree in pharmacy from University of Jordan, one of the best universities in that country. I've worked for 5 years in a cancer center, King Hussein Cancer Center, in the inpatient chemotherapy, IV preparation pharmacy. Then I had to leave my job, come to the US because I got married. I applied for the FPEGC in 2017. I passed with a good score, but unfortunately I couldn't do the internship right away because of visa issues. I was on H-4 visa, under which I couldn't get a work authorization. Recently, finally, we got the green card, so I got my employment authorization and I can finally apply for a pharmacy internship. I'm planning to do the internship here in Connecticut, if possible, the 1,500 hours. Then I will sit for the NAPLEX and get the license, hopefully by the end of next year. This is what I plan to do. Yeah, that's it.
Do you have a preceptor now?
Yes, I do. His name is Dr. Yahya. He works he's a manager of the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in West Hartford.
Very good. Any questions for Haneen? All I ask, Haneen, keep track of your hours and because sometimes they get lost. So just keep track of all your hours and we wish you a lot of luck. Good luck to you. And feel free to reach out to us with any questions that you may have.
Well, I do have a few questions indeed.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so I know that you require 1,500 hours. So in case we had to move to another state, could I transfer what I've already done with me to complete? I cannot.
No, it's state specific.
Okay. So once I begin, I must finish the 1,500 hours, or I will have to start over.
Or you have to give them up and start anew wherever you go.
Right.
Okay.
Each state, right, as Angelo is saying, each state has different requirements. So you would have to, follow their directive.
Okay. So
Just
it
stay
depends
here.
on where I'm going.
You
Right.
would not be able to transfer them where you're going. You would not be able to. You would have to follow.
Well, you have to check with that state. For us, you cannot transfer them. So for us, in order to get licensed by examination in Connecticut, you need to complete your intern hours in Connecticut.
I see. Okay.
But there could be a state that allows you to reciprocate those hours. We're not familiar with the rules of
Right,
those other states.
right.
We do not allow that in Connecticut. You would have to do all 1,500 in order to take your NAPLEX and be licensed in Connecticut.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any other questions, Haneen?
No, that's it.
Any questions for Haneen?
No, congratulations on your green card, though. That's
Yes,
great.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's
thank you.
excellent. Yeah,
Yeah.
and good luck. Good luck
Thank
to
you
you
so
and your
much.
family. Okay, see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful day.
You too. Yep.
Okay, moving on. For Commissioner Chisholm and Commissioner Carbray, pharmacy relocation should be pretty quick today. Is Brass Mill Pharmacy, Jalpa Patel here? Mr. Patel? Unmute.
We're both here.
Okay, I don't know who both is.
Well, my wife and I. She's Jalpa Avnitul.
Okay, so it's the manager that's going to be answering the questions, okay? So it's Jalpa that should be on. Is she on?
Use this.
There's a lot of feedback. There's a lot of feedback on your mic. Do you have two computers up?
All right, sorry, technical issues.
Okay, is this Jalpa?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. That sounds much better. Jalpa, could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, since it's a relocation, I'm just going to go through some of the questions that I typically ask for a new pharmacy, because it would be considered a new pharmacy just in another location.
Okay.
Is there any physician ownership in this pharmacy or any healthcare professional that can write prescriptions legally in the state of Connecticut?
No.
Is there any general compounding or sterile compounding that's going to take
No.
place in the relocation? Will the pharmacy be open greater than 35 hours per week?
Yes.
Will there be a point of sale, a register, a computer, a laptop, or other device that can access HIPAA-sensitive information from a patient that's going to sit outside of the prescription department?
No.
Will there be a consultation room, an immunization room, or a wellness room that sees patient in the pharmacy?
Yes.
Will this, so I bring this up only to advise you to either include it in the prescription department. And if you include it in the prescription department, the commissioners will tell you about the locking of the door and what type of computers and medication can be kept in there. And if you don't include it as part of the prescription department, then another set of rules falls in where you won't have to keep the front door locked. But however, you won't be able to keep certain drugs and computers in that room. So it's up to you and whether or not you're going to include it as part of the prescription department or exclude it. And there's certain regulations that fall with each of those choices, okay, for your behalf.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Commissioner Carbray, Commissioner Chisholm.
Mr. Chairman, before we proceed, I just want to confirm, does Jalpa have to be on video? Or can she just be on?
You know what? I don't know the Roberts rules of Zoom. That's a good question. I'm not sure, Deb.
I would imagine if she needs to be in person, then she would at least have to show video, or else this would be a phone call.
I think Commissioner Chisholm brings up a very good point.
I agree. I agree.
Okay. Jalpa, is there a chance you can Zoom with video, please?
Yes, I'm trying.
Okay.
Where are the options? We have two devices here connected. We have a Chromebook and iPhone app. However, I cannot seem to see where I can allow video.
If you hover to the bottom, they should, all your prompts should come up.
I do see mute, raise hand, chat, Q&A.
You don't see one that says camera?
No, it's not.
Does your Chromebook have a camera?
Chromebook has a camera. iPhone has a camera. Chromebook doesn't even have that option.
Did you follow the link that was sent
Yes.
to you?
Yes, we did follow the link, but I don't seem to find the
It should be
video.
next to the mute.
Did
Start
you
video.
follow the link from the private side or follow the link from the email that was sent to you directly?
I followed the link from the meeting agenda.
Yes, no, that's not the
No,
one. The one,
that's not the
you
one.
have to go on the one where you received the email.
Okay, just a moment.
Debbie, I think Heather, I think it begins with DCP meeting host is the way to search it.
Just a moment, let me look it up because I didn't even get an email. I just looked at
All right, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. You continue doing that, and I'm gonna
Yep.
continue with the agenda and come back to you, okay?
Okay.
you got it.
All right,
Thank you.
very good. All right. I don't believe Salem Health Pharmacy is here. We put this on the agenda. Well, first of all, is Salem Health Mart Pharmacy here? So we tabled this from last month and we did it in ansticipation of getting a drawing after the date of submission, and it didn't take place. So we're going to take it off the agenda and it'll be up to Salem to contact Heather with the proper information to get it back on the agenda. So we're not going to table it now. Okay, so that's off the table, off the agenda. For miscellaneous matters, just really quickly, we were speaking before the meeting officially started. As of next month, we're going to go back to our usual routine of swearing in first-time managers. And part of that swearing in, I think it's important for the face-to-face. I think that makes us unique. And I know that first-time managers have reached out to me often and said they remember something that I said, which is an incredible thing in itself. So not only that, but Dr. Fitzgerald at UConn has created a great first-time manager package. I wouldn't call it a CE package, but I believe it can receive CE. I think what we're going to do is we're going to talk to Dr. Fitzgerald to try to get a link to some type of WebEx. And I'm going to encourage very strongly to all the new first-time managers to view that link so that it fills in all the blanks of the little bit of oversight that I give during my little swearing in. And I think this is important, especially with the topic that I want to introduce at the end with pharmacy fatigue out there these days. So going forward, I just wanted to make it clear, we're going to start the first-time manager swear-ins again. And retrospectively, we haven't decided how we're going to do it. Right now, it'll probably just be volunteer, but retrospectively, we're going to try to identify first-time managers that didn't appear before the board, and hopefully they'll trickle in over time to also get sworn in and hear my little spiel as we go on. And if there's any questions by any of the commissioners on that, I'll be happy to take them now.
Angela, just a comment. I mean,
Yes, sir.
being that UConn Pharmacy and Jill in particular spent a lot of time and did a lot of work on this.
Yeah.
We gotta get behind it and really make sure it gets utilized.
100%. That's why there'll be a little strong arming, Rick, on here's the link, make sure you see it. And I think that there'll be also an opportunity to digitally find out who did go through the WebEx, collect some data on who took the WebEx and who didn't.
Good.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question regarding that pharmacy manager CE, I believe it is, from UConn. I went on the link and it looks like there's a $50 charge for the CE.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
So if it doesn't have a charge, I'm 100% behind it, but I think to strongly suggest something that is going to cost the pharmacist additional money, I don't know how I feel about that. So
that's a great point, Commissioner.
Yeah,
and we'll talk to UConn about that. Yeah.
Great.
We'll talk to UConn about that. I wasn't aware that there was a charge. Yeah. But it will enhance whatever reading they do on their own on the manager regulations that we always suggest for them to go on and read through. And, let's be frank, I don't know how many people actually do that. So sounds good. Any other questions? Hearing none, I think the technology issue has been solved at the Patels. Is Jalpa available now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I see beautiful magenta. I see nice colors, but I don't see a person. I see a name. Earth to Jalpa. Okay, I see a desk.
Oh.
There we go. Very good. Excellent. Thank you very much. So we're going to, the only thing I'll do differently, I'm not going to go over all the wording, but I do want to swear you in on video if that's okay, Jalpa. Could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So I hope you got it.
Yes.
Okay, very good. And now over to Commissioner Carberry and Commissioner Chisholm.
Thanks, Jalpa. Can you first of all give us an idea of the location of the pharmacy externally before we go inside into the building?
So externally, there is a Citgo gas station next to the. It's a 3-family home. So the first floor is solely going to be pharmacy. The second and the third floor will be rented, but they will have no access to the first floor.
So the front door, is
Uh-huh.
where are the doors for the second and third floor tenants in relation to that front door?
So the front door is going to be locked. There's nobody will have access to the front door. We have an opening on the side towards the parking lot for the pharmacy customers. So the people on the second and the third floor will have no access to that door. Their door will be on I believe it's on the
sides,
on
the front.
the side, on the other side of the pharmacy door.
All right, so the front door is the pharmacy front door, not an entrance for
No,
second or third floor at all.
no.
Okay. And okay, walk us through then the drawing here that we have in terms of the flow and workflow for the pharmacist as well as customers coming in and exiting.
So there's the front door. If you see on the left, oh, sorry, yeah. The customers will walk in through there. There will be an OTC section on the right. And there's a utility room next to the OTC section. And then you'll see there's an office. And as you walk in, there on the left-hand side, there will be a drop-off pickup window. And there will be a door that goes next to it. It will be locked. And there's an immunization room right next to the consultation window, which the patients will have no access to inside the pharmacy. That door will be locked as well. What else? And then behind the drop-off pickup will be the fill counter and the RX bays. And there will be a separate room for a med box prep area. And there's a rear door, which will be the emergency exit that will be locked as well. And that's it pretty much. The safe will be right the drop-off pickup, and which nobody has access to except for the pharmacist.
Okay, so all those open entrances there, those are all doors there, utility room, immunization room?
Entrances you see, those are all doors that will be
Okay.
locked at all times.
Okay. And as the chairman mentioned before, is there going to be computers in that immunization room?
No computers.
Okay. But you're licensing this entire thing as a pharmacy. You're not separating out the immunization room, correct?
No.
So it's all we licensed as a pharmacy.
Yes.
Okay. And okay, I see the sink up in the corner. It's safe and refrigerator. Break room, I assume you're going to put a refrigerator in that break room?
Yes, a small one.
Okay. Not a public bathroom, that's just for employees?
No. No public bathroom.
Okay,
Am I missing? Is there, oh, there's a refrigerator. I see it now. Thanks.
yeah, down the bottom there. And with those second and third floor tenants, obviously, you're gonna have some kind of security system.
Yes,
There's no if there's any penetration from upstairs down.
definitely. We have the security system in place.
And the
The mo-
30,
sensor,
I'm sorry?
motion censored security system.
Yes. So
Okay.
if you don't mind, I can have Mitul explain the security system to you.
Sure.
so we have about 32 cameras, about 8 motion sensors, contact sensors for each door. I'm going to be installing contact sensors on the safe too, in case the pharmacist forgets to close the safe. He cannot arm it without it being closed. And yeah, all the cameras are going to be high definition 4K IP cameras. And we're also going to be feeding security data to an offsite location. So in case something was to happen, we have redundancy in place.
Okay, thank you for that.
Not a problem.
I guess the only other comment, and Debbie, if you've got questions, sure, jump in, is the relocation. You know, the closing of one pharmacy and relocating, you know, about moving your controlled drug substances and double counting pharmacists only.
Jalpa, did you understand the question?
I'm sorry.
You're
Go
going to
ahead,
be,
Commissioner.
you're going to be relocating your pharmacy.
Yes,
So with that, you're going to be moving all your inventory, including all your controlled drug substances.
Yeah.
Those have to be done by a pharmacist.
yes,
Generally should have someone with the pharmacist to sign off, you know, moving them
Yeah.
from one location to the other, inventory at both points of movement.
closing and then when I open it there.
Correct. So you plan on closing and then moving and opening the next day?
Same.
At probably the same day.
Okay.
Because right down the street.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Debbie, anything?
No, I don't have any other questions.
I have a question, Jalpa. The
Sure.
utility room, the door seems to be inside the pharmacy. Is that a utility room for the whole building, including the apartments upstairs? Or is that a utility room just for the pharmacy?
So that utility room is just for the pharmacy.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, no other questions. Unless anybody else sees anything.
And my assumption is it passed zoning, right? You can have a retail pharmacy underneath the inside a 3-family house, right? So Waterbury allowed this.
Yeah, we did
Okay.
pass this.
Just want to make sure. Must be
Yep.
mixed use. Interesting. Good.
Another question, if I may, is the only hand washing sink in the break room?
Yeah,
There's a
Um,
bathroom and then there's the sink, which is in the break room.
That's a good point, Mary. They
Yeah,
I
that
think
is,
it's-
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you guys obviously are closer to that than I am, but yeah, I don't know if that's an okay thing.
It typically is
it
in the prescription department and it's easy accessible from the pharmacy rather than going into a break room. But because the whole thing is licensed as a pharmacy, I don't think it really breaks any rules or regulations that someone
Okay.
can go in there. You know, the suspensions may be on a shelf in there and it's just called a break room. But you're right, it's very untraditional to have your only sink in the prescription department in your break room.
Yeah,
It's
I don't think
untraditional,
it's
but I don't think it's
conducive,
against the rules. Yeah,
not conducive to hand washing and certainly
right.
Yeah,
aspect.
I
Actually,
agree
that hot cold sink is inside the prep area, which for
Oh.
med,
Okay, well, that's different.
Yeah, so
That makes a difference. So
that's,
it's not in the break room, it's in the med box prep area?
that's not the break room. That's just to prepare med boxes for patients.
Oh.
Commissioner,
It looks like it, from the drawing, it looks like it's in the break
It's in
room.
the break
Okay,
room, it does, yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, commissioners? Hearing none? Thank you very much, Joplin.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's go for a vote. Do I have a motion to approve the pharmacy remodel? I'm sorry, the pharmacy relocation at Brass Mill Pharmacy.
So moved as presented.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Very good. Okay, so moving to Commissioner Inguante on the non-resident pharmacy approvals. Commissioner Inguante.
Chairman. Today we have a very short list. This is very atypical, as Heather can attest to. We only have 8 requests for licensure and just 1 denial. The central neighborhood pharmacy needs to provide us with their pharmacy inspection. And that concludes my report.
Beautiful. Any questions for Commissioner Inguante? Short and sweet. Do I hear a motion to approve? I will make the first motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Very good. So I just wanted to add a couple things here at the end. First, I want to talk about the NABP delegate certificate. I've done it. I've been there live. I know Debbie's done it. Rick has probably done it in his past. I know Mary has done it. So I really want to get some of the newer board members to experience it and become our representative for the state of Connecticut. So I know I probably should have told you ahead of time, Kristen, but I'm volunteering you if you can do it. It's a virtual for May 13th and 14th. If you can virtually do this, there'll be a certificate signed on your behalf to represent the Commission of Pharmacy here in Connecticut to vote on our behalf. If you can do it, I'd like you to do it. If you cannot, then I'm going to volunteer Brian Caffarelli to do it. And if he cannot, then Heather will reach out to the 4 veterans now, and one of us will do it. But I'm hoping that, Kristen, you can do it. I think it's a great experience to see what goes on the national level and how we fit into the NABP. So if you could reach out to Heather with the details, Heather will send you the details, and hopefully you'll be able to do it for us.
Sure.
And they do a good job, with the virtual. I did it last year, the annual meeting. And I think that was maybe not in May. I think that was maybe in June or July, but in any case, they're pretty efficient, Kristen. So, I know trying to balance a lot of things, but, if you have any questions about their virtual platform, just give me a shout.
And I'm sure it's gotten better and better as time has gone on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I can get back to you with a.
Yeah, just get a hold of Heather. She'll send you the delegate certificate. And if you can do it, that's great. If you can't, we'll see if Brian can do it. And if he can't, it goes back into the well.
Okay.
Brian, you're a moving target right now. Very nice.
Congratulations.
That's very nice. Look at that.
Congratulations, Kristen. Very excited. Yes.
Okay, the other thing that I want to bring up, I'm taking a little chairman leeway here. In the past 2 weeks, I've received calls privately, emails. I know that Heather's been contacted about workplace environment again and pharmacist fatigue. And it's another reason why I want to bring back the first-time managers to explain to them, because as often, I know you guys have heard it, and it often is the one thing I want them to take away is that they're in charge. If they see something, or if there's an operation, or if there's not enough employees or whatever may affect them in a way that they think that public safety is at risk, they have to speak up. A secret anonymous letter to me or the board, or a call, or getting a friend or a patient to call on your behalf to say, I was at a pharmacy and it was so busy, I didn't trust my prescription. That's not going to work, because those are employer-employee issues. And it's very difficult for us as a peer group to rule on labor. And I think everyone here will agree to that. But there is a fine line when it comes to public safety. You know, we can only uphold our regulations and our statutes as it pertains to public safety. But the workplace environment is really dictated by the pharmacist themselves, because the staff pharmacist, if they're the pharmacist in charge, is the one that calls the shots. And obviously the pharmacist manager is the one that calls the shots. And during the COVID, you know, pharmacy is an incredible badge of honor, getting so many patients immunized. But for a pharmacist to do 60, 70 immunizations in a day and still have to turn around and go fill the same number of scripts or more, it's become an issue. And pharmacy fatigue is setting in. So I'm just bringing it up to all the commissioners, because I have a funny feeling we're going to see a lot more of this as time goes on. And I'm not sure where we fit in with the puzzle, other than making the pharmacist aware that if there's a major issue, if they feel that the public's at jeopardy here, that they have to speak up. And I think it's also, that's another reason why I want to bring the pharmacy managers back face to face. I really want to stress that to them. If there's any comments or suggestions that the commissioners may have, I'd really appreciate it. You know, Rick, I know we worked on that workplace environment committee, but it kind of goes by the wayside. Every time you want to get involved, we don't have a leg to stand on with employer laws and employer relationships, right?
No, that's exactly right. And I did get another call about 4 months ago from a woman, you know, complaining about a change in structure and, you know, signing off on prescriptions, you know, with techs involved, and basically gave her kind of the same advice, you know, that you've got to communicate this to your supervisors.
Yeah.
That whole task force. And
from the hospital side, from Manchester Memorial Hospital in Rockville, and they're actually owned by a for-profit corporation, Prospect Health. And they have called and just, you know, they actually ended up escalating to the Department of Public Health, because the hospital pharmacy is really under public health. You know, we control the, you know, the controlled drugs and all of that, but the pharmacy themselves part of the hospital license. So that's where that went. And I never heard anything else on it, but it was all the same concerns, you know.
But I would imagine that technicians being able to immunize would relieve some of that stress. I know Kristen kind of talked a little bit about that 2 weeks ago when we had our emergency meeting, that she's using a lot of interns and technicians. I know we're using a lot of interns and technicians, and that relieves some of the pressure from the pharmacist having to immunize and verify prescriptions.
That's a great point, Commissioner Chisholm. Great point, Deb. But I don't know if everyone else is following suit, you know, but that's a great point.
Right.
But those are kind of suggestions that maybe we can make to some of the people that have concerns, or when we receive a letter or an inquiry of where they want to go. You know, you know, we can talk about breaks, we can talk about lunch, we can talk about that, but that's all Department of Labor stuff. That's not under our jurisdiction, basically. So that I appreciate those comments. That any other comments or suggestions by the commissioners when going forward? Hearing none, I will accept the motion for the approval of the Commission of Pharmacy meeting minutes for last month. I will make a
So
motion.
moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you, guys. Not a world record, but close.
It was
I was
close.
gonna say, what's
Thanks,
the
guys.
record?
Thank you
What
so
is the
much. Have a
Bye-bye. Have a
wonderful,
good-
wonderful week, guys. See you soon.
Okay.
care.
Take care.
Bye
Yeah,
now.
See you,
bye-bye.
bro.